Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to yet another broadcast from the S&M Iracing series here this evening. The drivers are going to be taking on Michigan International Speedway, MIS, as it's called here. We have a massive field here in front of us this evening. They are taking qualifying right now, so give a quick shout out to D&D Graphics, as we always do, for coming out and helping paint up these cars, hats, t-shirts, all that. It's good jazz. If you want a custom car to look like one of your late models, your stock cars, all that good stuff, he can make it happen. Get in contact through the Discord and check it out. We will point you in his direction. Well, we are at Michigan here this evening. 95 laps around the Michigan International Speedway. Stage racing, lap 30 and lap 60 for the stages this evening. A brand new setup. We'll see how this thing runs, but while these guys are wrapping up qualifying and getting ready to take the grid, we'll take a look at the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular amongst birds singing out, yeah, through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Welcome back, everyone. Qualifying has just wrapped up here this evening. It's going to be Trevor Haley in the 12 machine putting it on the pole position here this evening. Michael Wiley outside front row. Nick Bauman, Richard Garcia in the 4 machine here. John West, Blaine Snyder, Abram Gostin, Michael. Wow, these are some tough names. Really throwing the broadcaster off tonight. Michael Sorelli, I'm going to say. Jacob Johnson, Grant Wesley, Chase Durham, and Jack Leslie. And we'll continue to roll through the grid here this evening. You'll see the guys out there, the drivers starting to take the grid. We have a large field here this evening. You see it here, as so far still 36 have qualified. We'll keep going through the field. It looks like about 44 cars are going to be on the racetrack. Not sure if Gary Fassett just didn't qualify for this one, but a ton of guys in this race this evening here. It's going to be interesting. 2 stage breaks. They only have 6 fast repairs here this evening, so definitely going to have to manage that as they go around Michigan here this evening. We'll get a look at the track temp here at 96 degrees, a little warm on the speedway right now. as we'll try to get a look at some of these guys on pit road. There we go. Great grid camera here. So, the track's a little warm. It's a little slick. 2 miles around this. A brand new setup under the hood for these guys this evening as the grid gets ready to roll. 5 laps, green flag racing, no matter what happens on track, per normal. Here for the S&M series as these guys get ready to roll around the racetrack.
All right, man. Lights are back
Well,
on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
commentator is a little weary about one of these drivers out here on the racetrack here this evening. We'll see if the admin teams figure that all out. A large field, as you saw these cars rolling off pit road. They are still making their way off pit road here. A ton of cars, a 44 car field. I'm sure we're going to lose some of them by the end of this thing, but a absolutely mammoth field. It lets you know that you're doing something right when you get a field this size to come out. So they're going to extend it one more lap under caution here. This should bring out some great racing. Hopefully these guys show a lot of patience. There is a lot of new names in the field here this evening, so we will see how it all plays out on the racetrack here this evening. Going around. Shooting out a text to a couple of the admin guys here. Going around. Getting ready. The lights are still on the pace car, so they're going to do one more lap around. You hear some of these guys still just getting ready to come off of pit road here with Curtis Fassett. Man, the whole Fassett family here. Cody, Curtis, Jerry Jr., and Jerry Sr. all here. Awesome to have all those guys out here with us this evening. That is pretty cool that they are all out here. Well, these guys are getting ready to take the green flag around Michigan here. Let's get you up to date here with the leaders as they get ready to fire away here. 95 laps, like we said, stage breaks lap 30, lap 60, and then all the way to 95. One caution per stage for the first 2 stages, and then cautions as necessary after that. I'm still a little befuddled by a couple things here. Sorry for not quite paying attention right now. But anyway, we'll work through it. If you guys do me one solid here off the start here tonight, if you could just like, comment, or just subscribe to the channel, that will give you a notification every time we go live, especially for these iRacing events. We have a couple other leagues coming up here that we're going to be doing on this broadcast channel. Some of your other favorite drivers from the iRacing simulation will be featured here shortly. Next Saturday, we have a new league that we're going to broadcast for there. That's going to be a ton of fun to catch that league there. And then Friday with the SMT league, and then back here for the S&M guys, excuse me, as the pace car is pulling off. We have a absolutely gargantuan field here. Trevor Haley in the Geico restart zone. He is going to take this 44 field car to green. We are underway from Michigan. There, a couple guys maybe missed the start as well, so we might have even more cars on the racetrack. I mean, just an absolutely huge field going through here. Looks like we're already having some chaos further in the back. Sure are. That's, unfortunately, it seems like that's a lot of the newbies, and unfortunately Kyle Cameron involved. A ton of guys going around just not showing some patience up off the corner. Down here, still have, I reckon, a ton of cars. You're gonna have that with almost 50 cars on the racetrack. Hopefully these guys get it spun back around. They'll use one fast repair. That's going to be part of your strategy tonight. There is a lot of cars on the racetrack. You need to manage where you put your car. Try not to eat up those fast repairs too early. Try to avoid some of the guys that are going to be a problem around the racetrack this evening. The admin team will also be all over it. You know, we don't like to kick anybody, but they definitely will get rid of any troublemakers on the racetrack. couple guys already involved. Looks like we had almost 12 cars, but we won't have a chance to go back and look at that just yet, as like we said, the first 5 laps will stay green flag on the racetrack here, going around the Michigan International Speedway here. New setup under the hood. Not sure how they're going to race right now. They're looking pretty racy among the top of the group here, as some of the lap cars are trying to get out of the leader's way. They successfully do so. Let the lead pack by. You see the 28 also tore up. I believe that is Letty. That is usually Letty there, trying to make his way back down pit road. Get a fast repair out of the way. Try to just kind of nurse your way through the end of this stage, and then move back forward. Let's take a look here a little further back in the pack. Let's see. We're just going to try to capture some of these guys. Hunter Piper going around. Paul Turner right there in the 49 just behind. Chris Fassett, so we saw him start in the back, already up 24 positions. Sean Stam likewise started in the back of this field, and he is up 26 positions right now. Jerry Fassett, likewise, after missing that wreck, sometimes it just pays to start in the back. Know what you're doing. Know that there's going to be some chaos with the field this size on the start. That is why we don't throw the yellow flag immediately. Otherwise, we would have it happen just again here on lap 3. But Jerry Fassett up 33 positions. Brandon Showers up 26 positions. So that wreck took out a lot of guys, and just it pays to check up, avoid the wreck, and get out of Dodge. Sometimes that's huge. Unfortunately, Jamie Shaw got caught up in that one as well. Peyton Kleba as well on pit road. Zach Cato, I believe, likewise is... Nope, he's back on the track right now, riding in the 41st position. 1 lap down at S&M. Everyone has a chance to get their laps back under caution or under stage breaks. So that will continue. See, somebody has slid into the grass there. A bunch of smoke going through that corner. Some of these guys just not showing each other very much patience. That is why we do stage racing here, because a good majority of them will back out in the first and or early in the second stage. Then you will have your 25 to 35 guys racing for the win in this one. We try to leave it open to everyone, try to let everyone get an experience, showcase their talents, get on the racetrack, get on the stream. But, you know, that's just a product of it. Andrew McKenzie here in the 54, the scored number 58 machine in the Mark Martin throwback Eagle 1 paint scheme. That thing looking awesome going around the racetrack. He is up 14 positions at the current moment on the racetrack. Curtis Fassett continues to make his march forward. He is up 27 spots up to the P24 positions. Ricky Miles likewise up 10. That car has seen better days, but he says it's still running. I'm not using a fast repair right now. It's still chugging along on the racetrack, so keep it going. So the next incident on track will bring out a yellow flag. Right now the field is fairly spread out around this racetrack right now as Trevor Haley continues to go around. However, the next caution will bring out a yellow flag on the racetrack. You see the leaders getting a little dicey up here. You still have your top 6 nose to tail. That is Jacob Johnson in the 69 blue Junior Motorsports machine there. He's up 3 spots just outside the top 5. This is the guy we have questions about. This is the one that the broadcaster has questions about right here. I think if we figure out who it is, don't expect that car to stay very long. Even though he's running fine as just now, but
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
there's a story there. We won't get into it. There is the first yellow, so we did have another incident on the racetrack. That is going to bring out the first and only caution of the first stage here this evening. Once they go back green flag racing, they will have to run it all the way to lap 30. They have about 20 or 18 laps of fuel on board, so not sure this will be close for these guys. They probably will be able to make it, but tire conservation also going to be a big part of it here this evening. We'll get a look as to what is going on the racetrack when these guys come down pit road. So you'll see the cars on the outside continuing to get their laps back here this evening. Now, that was an awesome looking car. Can't tell who that was that just went around with the all chromed out machine there. So all the leaders will stay on the inside. The lap down cars will get their laps back on the high side. It looks like we may have already had quite a few guys exit out of this one with the early crash. It's just the way it goes here sometimes uh, from the Michigan International Speedway. This billboard just loves being in the way right now, doesn't it? As the leaders making their way onto pit road here, you see some guys still getting their damage fixed out. Trevor Haley going to lead them down pit road. It'll be interesting to see what happens there out there on the racetrack. Curtis Bassett did not go in and pit. Maybe he's just saying, I want to stay out of the chaos. I don't care if I drop to the back over the green flag run on old tires. Just get me out of there. He did start 50th this evening, so he is now going around here. We'll see the race off of pit road from the leader of Trevor Haley here. It looks like all four are getting changed on the service for both these guys. Tight race off pit road. The 12 is going to win that battle. We're going to have to check on a couple more of these guys as you continue to see the racing around the racetrack. It looks like the 16 might have gone too far. Yes, he is now stopped on the racetrack, or excuse me, the 8 is stopped on the racetrack. This is actually the car we were talking about earlier. The 44, that thing looks pretty awesome. I really like that scheme there. So they're going to have to check up and go to the end of this field if they were one lap down, which it looks like they just might be. Some checkups from the leaders. They're still having to check up and get around these guys here and catch the pace car. So that is the thing. If you do get a lap back for free, you will be tail end of the longest field. Sorry, I had to leave him tangled up. 2 wrecks already. Still worries to try again next stop. Thanks for the host. Anytime, buddy. Come out. You're more than welcome. I had a feeling there was going to be some chaos on the opening laps with a massive size. I know we are on a 2-mile racetrack, but just some guys just get impatient. That's why sometimes if you find me in the middle of these large fields after a terrible qualifying effort, I will just drop to the back. I don't even want to be involved. Let them all wreck out. I'll just count off the first stage there. Know that the first stage isn't going to go well. Try to gain track position once these guys get all strung out. And then start to work my way forward here. Well, we have second here. Your broadcaster is going to step away for just a moment, but you won't miss any of the action on the racetrack. We will be back before we go green. All right, we are back here. Told you we would get back before the green flag came back out, and here we are. Trevor Haley getting ready to get this thing fired off on the outside. We got Curtis Bassett on the out, or excuse me, on the in. We'll try to get a look from the blimp here at this mammoth field. The 8 pushing the 93. The 93 is going to be a little out of shape there, but they are all off and heading into turn 1 here. We'll try to do it. Got a wreck. The 48's going around. These guys need to check up to get through this wreck right here. Still wadding it up. Still guys driving into it. You see the 26 of Sean Stam. He's going to cut through it. These guys continuing to pile into the wreck back here. Some cars. Michael Wiley getting tore up on that one. Missed how that one all got started here. Well, we were not going to get a chance to get a second look at it. So much passing, so much going on the racetrack. These things just update so fast. So let's see if we can get a quick look on board here, see what happens on the start. The 8 pushing there. The 5 is going to go down and throw you see it there for yourself. Throw a block. Not really necessary. I mean, it's lap, 10? And that's going to tear up a bunch of race cars. just making a block going into turn one. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That's what we said. A lot of these new guys are going to have to prove themselves. So right now, a lot of them aren't doing themselves a favor. We try to, we try to leave these things open to the public for everyone to kind of get a chance to come on out and try it all out. But lately, we have been locking it down. Password. You have to be a part of the Discord. You have to be known. We have to know your driving style to get in here. And unfortunately, that is the reason why we're running these guys. They're just making moves that just don't make any sense here. Well, Nick Bauman has gone to the lead. Trevor Haley, Curtis Bassett continue to hang in there even with his old tires. Good run for him. Ryan Wilson there in the 21 machine. He is inside the top 4. He is up 24 positions right now, followed by Blaine Snyder, DJ Moore, Hunter Piper, and Brandon Showers rounding out the top 8. Some great racing here. Matthew Brown in the 9th position. Greg Whelan, Chase Durham, and Zachary Cato riding around in that awesome looking painted machine that he has on the racetrack so far. Riding up 10 spots from where he started in the 13th position. Jerry Fassett Jr. also up 34 spots right now, continuing his march to the front. Andrew McKenzie up 18, Cody Bassett up 34, likewise like his family member. So it just goes to show if you get checked up for these crashes, do not put yourself in a bad spot. As, oh boy, we had Bauman, he slid back pretty far, so that is going to put Trevor Haley, not sure what action happened right there. We'll get some looks on board here. There's just so much action going on in this racetrack here. Let's go back and take a look at 75. Dave Scott, he's riding around at 25th. The car is clean, though. So I think at this point in the stage, that's all you can ask from Abram Gostin here in his 29 painted machine. He is being scored the 29 machine, so he is the true 29 here. You see the 26 of Sean Stam there, 1 lap down. Must have got caught up in something. Michael Wiley got to try to keep his march going. Tim Shiflett appears to not be in, so just like that, we have gone from a 50-car field, and now we are about 38. It's just the way it goes sometimes in these open lobbies. Well, Trevor Haley continues to lead this thing, but looky here, getting a slight bit of the wall right there as soon as we go on board, but up 26 positions. And Ryan Wilson running down the leader here at Michigan here this evening, running a high line. We're going to have to ask these drivers if the high line is prevailing on the tire runs as these things go on. Like we said, it is a new setup on board for these guys. Get a look here at Ryan going through there. Blaine Snyder going to make a move to the inside. He lost his momentum. We're getting the wall there. And we'll go back outside the car here. So Ryan continuing to have himself a great run. Great to see him up there on the racetrack. Getting a text from some of the drivers asking what in the world happened. Yeah, that was the 5 car. He's in the painted 5, the old Casey Kane looking car. Not sure what driver that is. We go back and try to find. There's the 18. He's tore up right now. The 51. Obviously, we know Sean Stam, Chase Durham. Obviously, we know Michael Wiley. The 69 was making a move on the 5. Was not his fault. He was below him. I think that driver may have already exited himself from the race here, drivers. Not 100% sure. We'll continue to try to find where that driver is on the racetrack. There he is. It is Jack Leslie in the 5. Through a bad block on the restart there, and that led to everyone getting stacked up on the racetrack. Admins are trying to, they know we have eyes in the sky doing this, so they always ask for if we saw something that they may have missed on the racetrack to see if they need to remove anybody. Brandon Showers making his big march forward here this evening. He's up 33 spots. DJ Moore is up 21. Ryan Wilson still up 22, hanging in there. Hunter, I'm going to say that's Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer makes more sense than Piper. I'm going to say Pfeiffer. It's probably wrong, but Hunter is up 9 spots, riding just outside the top 5 here as this group continues to make their way around, looking pretty racy right now. We'll go check in again here with one of the Facets, still up 32 spots, continuing their march to the front. Maurice here in the 44 machine. We saw that earlier. It had a little damage but now looking a lot better. Kyle Cameron involved in one of the earlier wrecks. He has recovered back to the camera shakes as these guys go by. He's recovered up to the 17th position here. Ricky Miles up 12, just taking care of business right now. Started in the back. He's running 23rd around the racetrack now. Sean Stam is still on the lead lap, riding in 27. Excuse me, no, these guys are one lap down. It looks like Dave Scott might be the last car on the lead lap here on the racetrack, riding around in the 19th position. We only have 9 laps to go in the stage. Who took care of their tires? Who are going to make a late run? You see all these drivers right here. I mean, it seems like for a new setup, it's pretty racy. You got the top 10 almost nose to tail here. If anybody makes one slip up, they're going to be all over each other. That 23 is going to get into the side of the 9. That's going to lead them down for a spin there. It just got tight for the 23. Going to make very slight contact there. You saw it there live. Very slight contact. Didn't take too much, so these cars definitely must be on edge here. Chase Durham up 10 spots. A guy continuing to impress here. I believe this is the same driver that was putting it on these guys a couple nights ago at Michigan and had to leave. Good to see him return on the racetrack, continuing his strong showing here as the 07 is going to make a move to the inside. Also going to slide up into him. These guys, they're definitely experiencing some tire wear. You see them trying to make moves on the bottom of the racetrack and just can't quite get it to stick. It's going to be who's saving that right front, who's saving the right rear. Seem to have some wear on it as well around the racetrack this evening, but they are all chasing Trevor Haley right now in that awesome throwback scheme that he is running this evening. So your top 8 are still all within eye shot of each other. One slip up like you saw there for the 23 and the 9. It could be all you need to get moving forward. About 6 laps to go in the stage here. When they come back around, it'll be 5 laps to go. So let's get some on-board shots from a couple of these guys going around the racetrack here with the vantage point of DJ Moore in the 47 machine, riding around P8 right now, the last car in this pack here. Ryan Wilson, again, in this awesome painted race car in the 21 machine. Awesome job, up 23 spots, hiding out in the top 5 right now. Nick Bauman giving a big shot to the back of the 54 machine there, trying to push him down the straightaway. It's going to get him to the inside of Trevor Haley here going into 1 and 2. Does he have enough tire to make it stick? Trevor's going to try to pin him down the racetrack. The 54 is going to wash up a little bit. They're going to make a little contact, but they are going to stay side by side going down the back straightaway. Now the 8 is going to go 3 wide down the back straightaway. Does he have enough right front tire? The 94 with a bad push into the back of the 54 going to get him out of shape and get him up into the 12. That's going to wash the 12 up, and well, now the 8 didn't have to worry about how much grip he had in the right front because that kind of washed everyone up the racetrack there. And you see it, Ryan Wilson continuing to hunt these guys down. John Miles doing a better job getting out of the way. Don't be right in the middle of the racetrack. Take him down the apron. Boy. Definitely, he's a regular. He knows better. That's why I'm giving him more grief than normal, guys, out here on the racetrack. Trevor Haley trying to get that thing back moving on the high side here. Now going to go to the low side of the 07 machine going down the back. We have the 3 car kind of making it wiggle down the back straightaway here. And the 8 being chased down by the 54. Now the 54 must have been doing a great job of saving that right front tire because, boy, he has definitely made a strong showing here towards the end of this run. Lap traffic still. And then Trevor Haley going down pit road, so he must say, I going to want these fresh tires before the end of the stage. But it was close. Oh, and then the 3 car is going to wreck the leaders. Yeah, he was kicked immediately. Yeah, I mean, that was purely intentional. Just goes up and wrecks the leaders. I mean, we're on a broadcast. I can't say what I really feel, but, you know, your iRacing account should just be banned at that point. I mean, just utterly ridiculous. I mean, just idiotic. I don't understand it. I really don't. What's the point of coming out here and intentionally wrecking guys, you know, well, you're paying for a subscription. It really pisses me off even up here at the broadcast booth. I know the 8 car is going to be upset about that, but out of all that, Hunter in the 07 is going to go to lead. Ryan Wilson up to P2. Chase Durham and DJ Moore rounding out the top 5. here so far. 2 laps to go in the stage. Let's get a look at how long it's been for some of these guys going down the back straightaway. About 18 laps for these guys. I mean, just an utterly ridiculous move there by that 3. I mean, now we got the leader coming down pit road. We'll just talk about that in a little bit. The 54 really going to hustle it on the pit road. Can he get it checked up in time? The 54 does. So he's going to make up some track position. That is going to hand the lead over to Ryan Wilson. We saw him making a charge to the front. He might be dropping back in the field here. Might have been intentionally dropped back, trying to save fuel. All he has to do is get it to lap 30 here this evening, and that will credit him with the stage win. But does he have enough to come all the way back around the racetrack? Ryan Wilson rolls it through turns 3 and 4. You definitely hear him babying that thing a little bit. Does he have enough to get here? It looks like he is fairly slow coming down now. You see the 23 of Brandon Showers. He is not going to be an issue. He is lapped down. So Ryan Wilson is going to grab stage 1 here this evening.
Caution is out.
Great run for Ryan so far in the AWR Team 21 machine. Awesome job for him. We'll get an interview with that driver here in a little while. I just want to, I don't like to give these guys, any light of day when they make these moves, but we're definitely gonna have to ask Nick Bauman what that guy's name was, because he deserves all the negative press he can get with that one. I hope drivers submit that to the iRacing officials, and hopefully this is one of the few times that they do something about it, because it just it's unacceptable. We do have Nick Bauman up in the booth with us. Nick, do we have a name on the driver that hopefully everyone can now avoid?
Oh, absolutely. Tate Waugh, number 33. He already left the race. And if I had it my way, he probably wouldn't come back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Richard Garcia just wrecked Ryan Wilson. Coming to the caution flag there. Just straight dumped him.
Yeah, I don't know what's got into these guys tonight. I don't know if they watch the heat races at Bowman Gray tonight, or
the 47
try to drive like that.
Yeah, the 47 ran into the side of the lead cars. I mean, I think the kick button is going to have to get worked out here. 47 was DJ Moore. May have just ARCA braked it there a little bit. Ryan Wilson having a great run, and then that happens. And he had to tow too. I mean oh man, this is definitely a frustrating one. Well, while we have you here, how's the car driving? How was the new setup?
The car actually drives pretty good. A little more tire wear than we used to have. Makes it a little bit more fun, especially if you save tires like I did. Just able to drive up past everybody, before the incident.
Yeah, we try to build it to have. It seemed like the right rear was also wearing out on that machine as well here this evening. Did you get a little slide going in the corner, or was it all just right front push?
It was a little bit of both. I did notice it was starting to get a tiny bit loose on corner entry as you're getting into the corners. The tires wore out.
So have we parked it for this evening, Nick?
Yeah. Too many boneheads for me tonight.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna chill out.
Well, if it gives you any encouragement to put that thing back on the racetrack, it does look like this field has shrunk quite a bit. Actually, no, it looks like we're still at 40. Let's see here. Grant Wesley not here. I'm gonna go through the field here and see if I can figure out who's still here. All right, Peyton Club of 38. Still 38 on the racetrack, so there is plenty of knuckleheads still out there. That is for sure. Dave Scott is the leader coming down pit road here. Well, Nick, why don't I do you the same solid that I did with, there we go, with Jepson last night when he was up there in the booth. You can now get a look at through Discord the same things I'm looking at as you see the right side's going up. How is the left side? Where I saw a lot of guys still opting for 4 tires. there on that first pit stop. Was that just a check on tire wear? Or did you think the lefts were also getting abused a little bit?
I don't know if it was because my left front tire was down at 92%, so it definitely could be more tire wear on the left sides than what we used to have.
So the strategy calls at the end of this thing are going to be absolutely wild, is what you're saying. Some guys might try it with 2, and you might see some cars tracking it around here this evening.
Oh, no doubt.
Well, so now we have another guy up in the booth with us here. James Jepson has rejoined us up in the booth. Now I got all kinds of help up here to call out the action on the racetrack.
Evening, yep.
Alrighty, well, Jepson's in here. Greg Whelan up front. Hunter, I said this is Pfeiffer. Pieper. I'm probably wrong. If I'm horribly wrong, please correct me in either Discord or the chat there. Trevor Haley up to P3. Zach Cato continuing his march forward. P4. Matt Brown. Kyle Cameron. Cody Fassett. Curtis Cal. I keep saying Curtis Kelly out of habit. So look at this. Cody Fassett, Jerry Fassett, and Curtis Fassett. 8, 9, 10. Right there. And they started 40 in almost 50th. Jerry's up 40. Cody's up 42. And Curtis is up 40 spots on the racetrack right now. So that is your top 10 as they're getting this field sorted out going around the racetrack right now. I didn't see the 94 pit. So that is going to be a bold strategy, Cotton, as they would say, to see how he gets going. Let's see his last pit length. Well, he pitted, it's saying about 6 laps ago, so his stuff isn't too old. But everyone behind him is sitting about, well, 3 caution laps going around the racetrack there. So not too much tire wear. Maybe a good strategy call there for the 34. There is the 5. The lights are off on the pace car. Ryan Wilson is not in chat right now. Don't see him. That was our stage 1 winner. Does not deserve to be in the back where he is right now. I'm going to try to find him in the running order. Hopefully he didn't quit. I'd like to see him march his way back up to the front. We actually should have given him his position back on the racetrack. He should be P2 or P3 here. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with the 4 there. I have a feeling I know what happened there. He's riding around 27th. All right, they are going to give him his spot back on the racetrack. Awesome for that. He was the stage winner. He should at least be 2nd or 3rd. Getting wrecked under caution is not what you want to see. Or oh, no, he's just getting a lap back. So
yeah, I believe he has a toe.
He did. So are we going to extend it one more time here?
Does not look like it. Pace car's pulling off onto pit road, so it looks like this race is going to go back green.
All right, well, first time broadcaster, why don't you take us back to green?
Oh, Lord.
Green,
94 gets a good jump on the restart. 07's going to see if he can get down the line and see what Trevor Haley is able to do on the outside in the 12 machine. Next to him is Matthew Brown in the, what is the 24 on his door. 666 car in iRacing, an interesting number choice. Got Kyle Cameron and Zach Cato, a couple of AWR boys behind him. They're going to single out off of turn number 2. Nope, to the outside of the 24 they go.
Not too shabby for half a lap there, Nick. Not too shabby for half a lap. Jepson up here with us as well. You see the 12 car putting the pressure on the back of the 07 machine. I think it'll be interesting, a strategy call here for Trevor. Knowing that the 2 guys in front of him do have green flag laps on their tires, does he just save for a couple laps? Or does he just say, yeah, I'm going to go around you and get some distance between Kyle Cameron? Because Kyle Cameron and Zach Cato are on the same tire strategy as the 12.
Oh, if I were driving a 12 car, which I normally don't, and Trevor wouldn't like that, but I would do exactly what he's doing right here. Slice and dice it all the way back to the front, give them dirty air, make their tires even worse, drive away from them.
Well, Jepson, you were in the field. You said you were going to at least try out the first stage. What were your thoughts behind the wheel of just the setup? Maybe not so much the racing, because it seemed like a lot of guys did a lot of crashing instead of racing. But what were your thoughts?
Well, during practice, I really liked the setup. I wasn't really given a chance during the race. I got caught up in the melee in the backside right at the start, And then getting through that, I saw the front. We came back to, we had that next green flag start, and the melee started again. I got caught in the middle. I said, I'm not the greatest at this track. I know it. I'm not the greatest. And I'm like, Nick, I'm going to call it a night because I told you I'd be up here after the first stage to sidekick the route again.
Well, it seems like the cars are driving well. It seems like 4 tires are going to be pretty much a standard move. You see the 07 making a big move to the inside. Is he able to make it stick? And if you look not too far in the distance, did anybody else see this lime green machine making his way back up towards the front after getting caught up in something earlier? Michael Wiley continuing his march back to the front. Ooh, the 24 and the 94 are going to make a little contact now. Guys, we have seen it in the beef channel here, so I'm gonna keep it. Very close to these guys, as the 48 is now all over the back of the 24. Gentlemen, I think we're gonna have to let the story just tell itself here on the racetrack. What do you think?
Yeah, Craig, well, you're right. Somebody got the 48 the wrong way earlier in the race. That's one thing you do not want to do to the 48 is rattle his cage, because he's going to be on a mission more than normal, and you get in his way, especially the ones that take him out. He's a driver. He can wheel the car really well.
And that was making it 3 wide on the outside of 94. The double zero.
Oh, double zero.
Getting a little loose. He's going to hang on to that.
What a save.
Great save from him. Now you see the 6 Zach Cato try to squeeze in there. I'm telling you, that sometimes, some guys get frustrated by that move, but you guys know it, but you're back behind the car. Sometimes that's just a blind spot on the car. Like, you see him in the rearview mirror, and then you don't for a 10th, and you're like, I'm clear up, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, and you're pulling the wheel back away from somebody. Looks like we're going to have some 3 wide action going into turns 3 and 4. You see the double zero back here, mixing it up with some of these guys. Brandon Showers continue his march to the forward. There goes the 24 up the nose of the 94, and then back up in front of the field.
28, double zero. The whole front of that top 6 or so, we're taken out. Let's
Brandon
see what
Showers,
happens.
John West into the grass.
Jerry Fassett getting called up. Kyle Cameron. It all started somewhere around the 24 machine here. Let's go back and, well, are we past our lap 5? We are past lap 5, so we'll go back up front real quick, take a peek on what's going on up there, because we should get a yellow flag this time around, gentlemen. Is that accurate? There it is.
Yep,
There it is.
Caution is out.
So let's see if we can get this all queued up. Naturally, it loves catching our wrecks halfway through here. We got to go find the 24 machine of Matt Brown. Let me scroll through. Hold on. We'll get there. There we go. Let's get a better shot of this one. I have a feeling before I even let it play, somebody's going to get arrow tight underneath the car here and wash up. What do you guys think? Well, the 94 given plenty of room.
I'd say it's a little bit of both. 24 came down a little bit off the wall, and the 94 came up just a tad.
I think that's right. I think the 94 was trying to self-clear. The 24 was trying to get away from the wall. 23 going to come up and, oh, man, poor Kyle Cameron gets tagged in the right rear. Fortunately for him, it doesn't look like he got a ton of damage. I don't think anybody comes through and cleans him out afterwards. Zach Cato making some great moves underneath there. You see that in that purple machine. Up, down, back up the racetrack. Now he's going to have to avoid the 23 spin. Is he able to miss it? Sure does. Turns under that one. So not too much damage on the 55 machine here. He should be fine, really. He just went for a little bit of a ride, guys. The 24 likewise. I'm not seeing too many guys that really got tore up. Oh, maybe until right here. We'll let this play. What happens here? Now they're still sliding. Yeah, now they're going to tag the inside wall. The Buck's going to try to hang on to it. Yeah, not sure what happened here, but let's get back up to the action. The leaders are on pit road, so let's continue to keep it here. Gentlemen, what do you think? Could this be the point where some guys try the 2-tire strategy?
Not on this track, no.
I don't know. There's a couple wacky characters in this race that'll possibly try anything. I think there might be a couple. No, not quite. Trevor Haley wins the race off pit road.
Very close race off of pit road here. A lot of these guys are looking like they did take 44 tires, at least amongst the leaders. Maurice here in the 44 and Greg Whelan, I believe they took two. They're up 14 and 15 spots from their starting positions, respectively. And so, well, the 94 was still there. Sorry, the 44 might be on two tires here. If I can decipher this graphic, maybe this will tell us here when they come back for another lap. Yeah, it's not going to update for us just yet. That thing is a pain in the butt. I wonder if I do this. Oh, look at that. We can throw in a couple more drivers. Would you look at that? You know, still getting used to this whole SDK thing. It looks like that is the total length of time on pit road. So about 45 to 46 seconds is looking like that's going to be from on pit road to coming off pit road here. You see it updating a little bit. See if we get some more information. I'm not seeing too many. So the biggest difference I'm seeing there is the gentleman in the 3 car there. Looks like he's about 6 or 7 seconds quicker than the rest of the field. So I'm going to decipher that as he is on 2 tires there. So we'll have to keep an eye out of what happens on this one. Well, guys, we've been trying to go back and forth through it. Unfortunately, Curtis Fassett is back on pit road. Maybe a strategy call for him out there. Trying to keep a look here. Ricky Miles continuing his march forward. Kyle Cameron, we just saw get caught up in that incident. And, yeah, well, if you would have asked me, hey, halfway through the race, what 2 cars are you going to see up front? If I had 3 choices, I would say the 12, the 88, and the 48. I think that's a good call. I think I don't think you can really go wrong picking those 3 cars. What do you guys think?
Nope.
No, not at all. And if they lock up, you know, front to back and get a little bit of draft Michigan can do, they're going to be an unbeatable pair, and they'll fight it out at the end. Or triple. There we go.
Well, these guys getting ready to go back green flag racing here from Michigan. The pace car is off. Let's go to the blimp cam. Let's try to get as many guys in this shot as we can. You see the 75 continuing his march forward. He's had a quiet race, and out of all of it there, I think quiet is the word you want for your race right now. Trevor Haley going to take back off here from Michigan. Going to be interesting there with that 44 to see if he is on 2 tires. How fast does that work? He's getting a really good push there from the 9 of Blaine. And Nick, I'll ask your opinion. I don't know if that color green on that amp car is quite accurate. You're the expert on everything Dale Jr. paint schemes. You tell us.
It's probably the right color. It's just not the right finish. It's got to have a metallic finish to it. I think it's just got a little glossy finish to it. Makes it look a lot brighter than it should be.
All right, I know I'm not a big Dale Jr. guy, but I did pick up something that looked a little different on that car. I've seen a couple other Leo 7 in a Dale Jr.-like scheme. One of my favorite cars going around the racetrack right now is this 6 car. Man, when you get a real good shot at it, that thing has some wild intricacies. Almost like a photo on the side of that car. But let's go back up front because the race for the lead is picking up here. At 12 and the 48, we're side by side here. Here comes the 9 giving a shove to the back of the 48 machine. Try to get him by Trevor. The one thing I did notice from past setups we've had here, this one didn't seem as aero blocky. It seemed like you could still move in behind guys. Maybe I didn't get a ton of time in the draft under practice, but James, what did you feel behind the wheel?
On this setup, I was able to control the car more, go high, low. I like the grip it had. I did about 10 laps. I could feel the tires going away, but I'm still learning this track, so I would be the one to pass that opinion on to somebody a little bit better in the group, Nick.
Bold move from Blaine Snyder to the outside of Michael Wiley off of turn 4. Blaine's hoping that 9 car is as fast as it is in real life in Bowman Gray. Pulling up to second place. Oh, got trouble. Cato around.
Trouble on the back. Number 6.
Cato around. The 91's going to get involved. The 6 looks like he's going to be able to hang on to that, but further up here we'll go and just let these cars go around because it looked like there are some heavy hits. Yeah, that 71 still getting into it. The 5 is back in it again here this evening. Cato, out of all of it, looking like he's got some front end damage, maybe missing the back bumper off of this thing. See if we can get ourselves a better look. You know what? Let's make life easy. Let's just go on board here with Ricky Miles. Doesn't look too bad. Ryan Wilson tore up again. Man, he was having a great race. I really hope he still has a lot of fast repairs left, and you see him barely hanging on to that thing. I really hope he can recover because he was having a great race. Really, really frustrating for me up here in the booth. Knowing I can't really do much about it. Watching him get wrecked under caution after he drove his butt off, did a fuel strategy run, and grabs the stage win there. You know, if you're Trevor, this is what you like to see in the mirror. You like to see these guys side by side being aggressive, making moves. Blaine Snyder in the 9, going to make a big move down to the bottom of the racetrack. And before we got interrupted by chaos, we'll ask you again, Nick, what did you feel? Past setups here, if you became the leader, it was, I mean, all you had to do was run the line of the guy in front of you, and you basically were golden. What did we feel behind the wheel tonight? Was there a little bit more play, a little bit more options in the lane choices that you had around the racetrack?
I feel like there definitely was a little bit more options, but it's still, you get out front, you can basically just control the race wherever you go.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a little bit more maneuverability, at least, you know, being tucked up behind a guy. You didn't seem to get as aero tight. I mean, that's just a product of it. James, you know, you got that big rear spoiler on the back of this thing. You're just getting no downforce on the nose of your cars. But, you know, one of the goals, hey, thank you for the follow, Grant Toller 51. Appreciate that. You know, I try to build it up off the racetrack. We still see some sparksy SIGs. I still try to leave it close to the ground, but the objective is trying to get some air under those cars and still able to get some front downforce to the nose of the car behind because, like you said, their past setups there, I mean, it got so tight, especially if it was like longer green flag run like this. Even if you were saving tires, as long as that leader went and blocked your lane, there was nothing you were going to do about it. Take a look on board here with our other broadcast teams, the STAM Studio Network here. I believe that's the name. Sean, you'll correct me if I'm wrong. I know you're watching this thing. Going around to his Wonder Bread machine around the racetrack there. Michael Wiley just in front of him. Dave Scott continuing to march his way forward. Looking like he was trying to save some tire. Maybe he made a run at it and couldn't get there. But if you look here, man, Brandon Showers has really closed the gap. He was pushing the leader down the back straightaway, James.
Yeah, he was pushing. I've been kind of keeping an eye also on Hunter Pepper. Hunter, the 07. He's been running that low line. It's like he's got some downforce when he's been pulling that low line. And as you were saying earlier, this setup gives you a little bit more grip because I'm used to going around the corners and my back end would come out. And tonight, it seems to be a little bit less. So they've got a little bit more there. Oh, and we got the 26 into the wall.
Sean Stam with some heavy right front contact. We'll see. We're going to have to go old school. We're not getting the old he's crashed notification here. Let's just see what happens. Did somebody self-clear themselves down the back straightaway here? Oh, maybe.
Oh, that was net code.
Yeah, that looked horrendous net code. We'll go back here from the 07 camera. If we can get it tuned up here. Let's go here. Let's go here. He's slightly in the wall there, just a scrape, maybe just super close. I was wondering if the 07 maybe got into the back of him here, but oh my lord.
That's some of the worst net code I've ever seen.
Yeah, that is brutal. I mean, I don't mean to be unprofessional in this one, but I mean, we're going to old school rewind. I mean, look at how much space is between these two race cars right now. I mean, oof. That's tough. Unfortunate for Sean there. We'll go back and get up here to the leaders. Yeah, that's brutal. We have 5 laps. We're working on 4 laps to go in the stage. Trevor Haley continue to be out front. Blaine Snyder, Michael Wiley, Brandon Shires, Hunter. I was saying Pfeiffer. I know I saw you struggling how to say this name. Nick, how would you say this last name of the 07 machine?
Oh, let me take a look. I want to say that's Hunter Piper. It's either Hunter, it's either Piper or Pfeiffer. I definitely don't think it's Pepper.
See, I said Pfeiffer, but there's usually an H somewhere in a Pfeiffer name. So
But you know, using that I bet you it is Pfeiffer because there's not the double P. So
yes,
I would, hopefully we're saying it right. I would say it's Hunter Pfeiffer.
that's what I was going with. That was going to be my best presumption. You know, he's not a regular driver, so we don't have him getting up here in the Discord going, it's Pfeiffer, dumbass. Well, sorry, buddy. Um, as we have just a couple laps in the stage, we'll go back here. Jerry Bassett still having himself a decent race. You saw Ryan Wilson get caught up in something. Matt Brown starting his recovery. The field is definitely shrinking for some of these cats out here on the racetrack. It's still looking like somewhere in the 30s, so still a good size field here. Maybe this it's usually this way at the end of the second stage. The guys who want to be here and want to race for fun. It's usually when the end of the second, midway through the second, all the guys that are just sticking their nose in where they don't belong, trying to make moves, pushing guys, diving it off in the corner. They've had enough. You know,
You're right.
They've been caught up in wrecks, and now these are the guys who want to stay here and try to win this thing.
And that's exactly part of the philosophy S&M and the other teams that are part of this main group. That's why we have stages. Everybody gets their lap back because every night, every race, it's self-cleaning itself. The races are. Everybody's on the lead lap at the beginning of a stage. This third stage we're going to be coming into, that everybody that's still here, they know they're still going to have a chance because they're going to get the lap cars, down cars are going to get back on the lead lap, and we're going to have a good race at the end.
Well, you see there the 12 zigging, zagging, trying to break the wake for the 48, so he can't pull him down the straightaway like he did. We are on the final lap of stage number 2, rolling off. Trevor Haley trying to aero block a little bit to that 48 machine. It's still, this is one thing I'm pretty proud of. I mean, there's some, big contact 23. What a save! Lord, that thing was hanging out there, but it's still going to be the 48 and the 12. Does the 48 make a big move?
He's
Down in there. He's diving in there.
Is he going to hold it? Is he going to hold it?
That's a great question. Almost has it there. I don't know how many drivers are listening, but that is one thing I'll tell you later. Trevor Haley is going to grab stage number 2. I don't know if anybody picked up on it. Well, when the tires were starting to wear and struggling to get up off the corner, I was clipping the apron late apex, and it was helping it rotate on the bottom of the racetrack. I think that is exactly what you just saw Michael Wiley try to do, but I think it was a little too late. The rear tires wouldn't hook up. He couldn't get the throttle back down, so Trevor Haley is your stage 2 winner this evening. We'll get a chat with him just a little bit. So Michael Wiley, P2, Blaine Snyder is going to be P3. Stephen Connor in the 31 car has gone too far ahead. He's slamming on the brakes. Likewise of the 51. So when these guys get back in order, I believe Blaine Snyder's going to be P4. Dave Scott should be P5. And Hunter Pfeiffer is going to be, Dave Scott P4, Hunter Pfeiffer P5 there. That is your top 5 for stage number 2. They get ready to roll it down pit road here. See the 48 closing up here. This is a battle we're going to have to see on the racetrack or off pit road here, because the 48 has a tendency of, I don't know what he does in the pits there, Nick, but he seems to pick up a lot of track position in the pits, or at least the race off of pit road.
Okay, let's see. They both stopped a tenth of a second slower for the 48. I won't tell you what they do, but let's see who takes off first here.
Identical looking pit stops between the 12 and the 48.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, Michael made up time. It's a draw.
So iRacing is going to say the 12 cars back out of pit road first. Jerry Bassett, not sure if he's waiting to get or just got his lap back. and John Miles is stopping on the back straightaway. They got their laps back, making up time on the racetrack right now. Well, while we're going around, let's look. The 23 of Brandon Showers is up almost 30 positions by the time they cycle this all back out. Another guy, Ricky Miles, is up over 20 spots. Sean Stam is up over 30 positions on the racetrack. We'll get those official numbers here in just a little bit. So, that's the thing. You were touching on it earlier, James. Just bide your time. Know that there's going to be chaos, especially in these massive lobbies that the S&M crowd brings in with all of the other teams, the SMT teams, the Angry Wives team, in here, the Showers organization that comes in. I mean, it brings in a lot of drivers, but I think a lot of the regulars know if they don't have a great qualifying effort, to just find a hole and hide in it for 20 laps. Let those guys either prove themselves that they can race, that you can get up there and race with them, or just like I said, hide in that hole for a little bit and let them tear their equipment up, and then you'll have all your stuff at the end of this. Well, why don't I let the rookie broadcaster bring in his teammate and your Stage 2 winner.
All right, Trevor Haley, it's Nick up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, looks like you're doing your best Chase Elliott Bowman Gray Heat 1 impression, dominating this race. I know he loves to hear that.
Drag me back down.
He said fire him on his first interview.
But how's the car feeling out there? How confident are you going forward you can hold Michael off?
It's always the question, man. Michael's really good everywhere we go. It's going to be a pretty fun battle between me and him and Blaine, and I think Dave is up here, so we'll see how it goes.
But Trevor, you're going to give him a chance to get a jump on the start, or you're going to beat him on the start again and jump high?
Well, I got to control the start, man. Got to get that lead. Try and keep it.
Alrighty, well, Trevor, congratulations on the Stage 2. If he makes his way back up there, I'm sorry, I know you're a teammate. I'm pulling for Ryan Wilson. He came flying up through the field there with the Angry Wives organization, got screwed under the caution flag. I'm hoping Ryan Wilson maybe, maybe if you and Michael get to banging doors there, the 21 will just scoot on by. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you never know. Could happen.
Alrighty, well, congrats on the stage win, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Well, we got about a lap. Let's bring in one more. James, you take over. It's Michael, it's James, Nick, and Craig up in the booth.
Hey, Michael, we've seen you had a little bit of battle earlier, and you came back up to the front. How you feel about the race so far?
So far, so good. I have no idea what happened when I got spun. All I know is I was backwards looking at the field, but I've had a lot of fun driving back up to the field. Car's fast, track's fast. We'll see what happens.
Well, I can tell you
we were watching.
Oh, sorry, James. I'll just fill you in real quick. The 69 made a move to the inside, and the 5 Casey Kane painted car just decided to throw a horrendous block, lost control, came back up, punted you in the door.
I got you. That makes sense. I knew I got spun around so quick I didn't even have a chance to save it.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, we enjoyed watching you weaving through the field coming up to the front. Now I've got hopes that you can beat Trevor there on the start. You know, he's got the control, but try not letting him have that high side and take the lead for our group.
We'll probably work together for 20 more laps or so, then me and him will probably go at it. I don't want to, we're fast. I don't want to wreck each other.
All right, well, we're going to green. Get that wheel. Have a good race. We'll talk to you later in the race, maybe.
Thank you, guys.
Trevor Haley bringing them back to the green flag here at Michigan, and just like that, they said they're going to work with each other for now, but you heard that, James and Nick. The laps are limited. The laps are going to be limited to how long they actually work with each other here going forward in this race. Well, the guy that I said I want to keep an eye on here, the 21, he was flying earlier. Now he's going to stick it 3 wide. He's going to try to get all these guys that he can here on the restart. This is my dark horse pick for the race here this evening. I think my front runner is going to be the 12 of Trevor Haley. James, give me a dark horse. Give me a front runner.
Front runner, I'm gonna take the opposite. I'll go with Michael. And the dark horse, he's running up front, but I like the way he's driving tonight. Is that Hunter Pfeiffer?
So
I know he's up
you got
top,
your dark horse
but
driver
he's
as
not
the
a right.
07
He's
machine.
not a right. He's not a regular, but he's running this track pretty good too. We got a lot of dark horses, but last night I was wrong on all aspects, so I'm going to go a little safer tonight.
All right. Well, Nick, you can't pick the 12. You can't pick the 48. Who's your front runner? Who's your dark horse tonight?
I'll take the next best thing. Blade Snyder, Net Dale Jr., Chase Elliott, mashup paint scheme. Good
How'd
car.
I know? I shouldn't even have to tell you you can't pick those two guys. I should have known that was going to be your pick anyway, wasn't it?
Well, it was going to be Michael until James stole it, but Blade's been fast all night long. He's usually good on these kinds of tracks. If I were going to pick a dark horse, I would go for Kyle Cameron in the 55 car. He impressed me last night with his run in Chicagoland. He's been quietly in the top 10 all night long.
Yes, he has. He just got back up into P10. I mean, he got caught up in something earlier. I think that is a great pick. If there's anybody else I want to say, or you know what, two guys, I'm sticking with my two picks, but I don't think you can count out the 23, and I don't think we've even seen the best from the 75 car tonight. He has quietly continued his march to the front. Now he sits P3, learning, maybe sizing these guys up. I don't think you've seen the best out of Dave Scott just yet. Well, while we got the field, for the most part, still here, let's go ahead, give the new broadcasters, maybe they got to go get a drink. They're new at this. We'll give them a break, and we will crank it up.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Man, we have a terrible time queuing that up, don't we? We get no luck every time we go to the crank it up camera. Something happens. It looks like it looks like Dustin Buck here at some point has gone around with the 21 of Ryan Wilson, and oh man,
H got door check.
Yeah, the 51 just, I mean, no other way to say it. I mean,
and
just
the 00, he's been caught up. You know, he's going to come after you, Craig. Every time you crank it up, it seems like that 00 last night and tonight gets caught up in one of these things. I've seen the pattern a little bit.
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, the 51, I know the 00 is coming down the racetrack. Is the 51 holding his line? I mean, the 51's definitely coming up. With the 00, his trajectory had him a later apex. I'm gonna chalk that up to a racing deal. When you looked at it the second time there, I don't know, are you guys seeing something different than me? I'm seeing the 00 start a high arc into the corner. 51 definitely drives it off in there, but for the most part, he's staying under that crease right until the contact.
That's a racing. 00 got pushed up a little bit.
Jerry Bassett just, poor Ryan just, I mean, that thing's broke. It's just sliding on him. Man, that's so frustrating. Let's hurry up and get back up here. We'll get the rest of your guys' thoughts as the leaders are on pit road about that one. James, yeah, I mean, I think you were spot on there. I mean, the 51 makes an aggressive move down to the bottom, but he keeps it under that first seam. Any more thoughts on that one, James?
I was watching the pit stop. I missed what you were saying. I was just watching the strategy of Trevor and the 48, and they even used the same strategy on this one. It's going to be interesting how their tires work.
Well, I don't want to give him credit just yet, but Nick's dark horse pick. Or James, this was your dark horse pick, actually. The 07 has beaten both of them off pit road and has gone to the lead. Well, Nick, let's get your expert analysis on that last wreck. Did you see something that maybe we didn't pick up on?
Nah, it just looked like a racing deal to me. What was the 51 car? Dove it off into the corner. 00's coming down. It's just contact was inevitable. Racing deal. Stuff like this is going to happen here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they weren't too long on a run either, so, you know, if they were 10 laps later, I would say the 51 just made a bonehead move thinking it was going to drive to the bottom of the racetrack and stick, but for the most part, it seemed like it stuck pretty well. Yeah, he's coming up off corner exit, trying to keep his momentum. But again, it's one of those things where from the cockpit, it is so hard to see. Basically, if you were looking out your right side passenger window with the point of view that these cameras have, if you see that guy going up towards the wall, you might just assume that he's staying up there. That all of a sudden you come up a couple feet. And for me, that's why I turn my ambient sounds up. I don't know, James and Nick, if you do the same. I turn up everyone else's engine, so when it gets close to my car, I can kind of get an idea just based off of sound where they might be around my car, because it is so hard to see sometimes.
Yeah, I learned a new trick tonight. No, I didn't do that, but I'm going to have to give it a try. You're up front more than I am, so I'm going to have to try it.
Well, I mean, you see here, it is a slightly different camera angle. It depends if you have triple monitors, if you have one monitor. Nick, you're a one monitor guy like me. I know I have 2 other monitors to kind of run the rest of this stuff, but as far as iRacing goes, it's one. And really depending on, now you can back this camera up. They do give you the option for your field of view to be closer to the wheel or further away, but you can see it here. You get a guy even right outside your door, unless you have your mirrors pointed the right direction, you'll have no idea they're there.
See, I run triples, so I have the wide angles and use my peripherals. So, when, like, if I'm up on the high side or something on a restart, I can see him taking off before I can hear it, because I'm watching him. Because when he starts moving, that's my key. But we're getting ready to go here. This is going to be interesting. 748 on the bottom, the 12 and the 9 on top. It's going to be a race around turn 1.
And another one of the dark horse picks there of the 55 also continues his march forward. You see him there. Had a great race last night for him. He said it was one of the first times he's ever run these cars not on a super speedway. So grabbing a top 5 is, I think you count that as a win, Nick, wouldn't you? If you've never put these cars on anything other than Talladega or Daytona?
Yeah, absolutely. With a track that has guys as aggressive as Chicagoland is, top 5's a great result for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I know he did grab one at ISS as well. I think if you're having success at ISS, I think some of these tracks, especially something like this, where you kind of dive the wheel down in and you progressively let your hands relax a little bit. I think some experience there definitely is going to be it's going to pay a little bit more dividends than a big move for the 48 to the bottom of the racetrack than, say, a Daytona or a Talladega, because you're just hoping to hold a steady wheel at Daytona or Talladega, right? ISS, you really got to put a ton of wheel in it to get it into the corner and then readjust your hands and everything, even up off the corner, because you're coming out of the virtual or the non-real banking on that racetrack. So I think what he learned at ISS might be paying dividends going forward here. The 07, not sure if he took 2. He is falling like a rock. Trevor Haley up there. And Dave Scott continues to hang around, James.
Yeah, they're hanging around. I'm watching the top 4 here, and the top 3 are back forth. Kevin's looking for that proper line. Oh, here comes the 07 again. He's going to tuck up behind the 48, and if he can get a little bit closer. Oh, and
man,
now
what a save down the backstretch. Sorry to cut you off there, James.
You're good.
They are getting aggressive.
Don't look now, 24 and 48, nose to tail.
I was just about to say it. Yeah, you called it out. Let's see here. Let's go on board. I mean, this is what he's looking at. He's staring at the back of him. There was some smack talk over the week after the 24 punted the 48. Reminds me of the Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon clip. I guess 5 times a little upset. Doesn't look like he has much for him now. Maybe you just say, we're both having a good race tonight. Let's maybe let the sleeping dogs lie, sometimes. But he's gonna take a look to the outside here. I don't think he's gonna quite get the run up off the corner, James. But what do? You're both in the top 5. You've both been talking a little smack. You both, you've had your run-ins. There's only 20 laps to go, so if you go to the back now, you might not have a chance to recover.
No, and you got one more pit stop before the final part of the race too. But before we do that, why don't we give our fans go to Revenant? What do we call it?
Go to Crank It Up. See if we can get the timing right this time.
I'll say let's go to Crank It Up, and maybe we can give them a lap or 2 of cranking it up. If we can break that wrecking streak. what do you think we got? The calm before the storm right now? It seems like we got packs on the race. We got two good packs on the racetrack. We're coming up with 15 to go. Who's going to make the first pit stop move?
Well, last night we saw short pitting get you out front here. I don't know how key that is going to be this evening, considering the draft. You see the speeds going down the straightaways. They're 168, 167 in the corner, and then they're back well over 190 going down the straightaway. Also, while we were in the Crank It Up cam, we saw the 9 of Peyton Snyder snag the lead for just a second, but the 12 car dove right back under him and took it right back from him. So, getting a little physical too. To be honest, I think as soon as you see one going down pit road, I think you see all of them going down pit road, James.
Right, and I think now, what we're looking at now is we're going to start seeing some of those two-tire pit stops, because 15 laps, we're looking at 14 now coming up shortly. We're going to see some guys really taking that chance to either get positions or even just a faster pit stop to get further up front. I think that's going to be a key factor here in pit stops coming up.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong, because, at least fuel-wise, these guys can stretch it about another 10 laps. So, do you stay out there in the pack? Do you try to burn up all the fuel, then take a splash, take 2 tires? Do you think 4 tires is going to be more beneficial? It's going to slow you down on the racetrack, but we know Chicagoland's a totally different animal, Nick. We saw you make up almost 4 seconds in just a few laps around last evening's racetrack. But these guys more in a pack, I think. I really do think as soon as one comes, you're going to have everyone make the dive onto pit road. Another guy here, he's been caught up in everything. I don't even want to say, Nick, why don't you talk about him? Because every time I bring him up, James has said I've gotten caught up in it, or got him caught up in something. I don't know if Nick is quite back. I know he had an internet issue there. 3 wide bouncing off each other. I told you, man. I told you. I brought it up. Oh, and he's going to go up and get to 23. Maybe some displeasure for the earlier incident that they were in. Poor Kyle Cameron's probably like, no, put me. And then he does. The 00 shoves the 44 and jams the 55 up in the wall. If I'm Kyle Cameron, I'm not very happy with that move from the 00. You didn't do it. The 55 doesn't do anything, and he's the one that takes the brunt of that hit there. Well, Trevor Haley's still out front, distancing himself a little bit. You saw the 09 get the wall just a little bit. Dave Scott still holding strong in P3. Michael Wiley, Brandon Showers, Maurice Gomillion? G-O Million. Math Brown. Dustin Buck, Hunter Pfeiffer has fallen in with his 2-tire stop. I think if there's anyone that's going to want to come to pit road before anybody else, it would be this 07, because he's been out there now. His left side tires are going to be very old, James.
No,
if he decides to go 2 tires again.
We had the 26, Sean Steam, just do pit stop, and right now he's coming on back onto the track, picking up speed. He's going to be right in front of the lead. Ooh, he slid a little bit there, but he's still on the lead lap. He did do a short pit, so the only person I'm looking, and I know him very well, we've talked about him a lot tonight, is that 48. He was hiding a little bit under the bumper, and I bet you with taking that wind off him, he's been saving some fuel. So you just might be right. We might not see some pit stops. You might be hoping it goes all the way to green or all the way to checker.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't think they have enough, at least fuel-wise, to get there. We'll go back. We'll take a double look. Yeah, it looks like 21 laps is the longest. They're already on 15, so probably at max, unless they've been saving. I still think 6 laps is impossible to save around this racetrack. You see Blaine Snyder now challenging back for the lead. James, we've seen these guys dicing it up once or twice. I think if you're Blaine here, at some point you got to start to maybe get a little physical with that guy on the outside so he cannot pin you down, but he doesn't even need it. He clears them going down the front straightaway off turn 4.
Yeah, it was a great move, but my question is, why? That 12 doesn't give up that low line like that very often. He'll come down and he'll either side draft you or slow you down. I mean, look, see, now he's coming up and around.
Did Blaine maybe just catch the 12 off guard, and now the 12 was like, wait a damn minute, give me P1 back. The 9 going to keep even with him going into turns 3 and 4, but if he can keep him from doing just that, sliding up. Now does Blaine get the momentum and pull a crossover on him? He's going to try it. Oh, they are going to be so close going down the front straightaway here. It's still advantage 12. If I'm Blaine, you need to get up there and side draft. You need to hang over the back of that quarter.
Keep him up high.
Yeah, and you need to get all the air on that quarter pail you can, and then rip it down to the bottom of the racetrack here. Some guys coming out of pit road, so we are going to have just a few laps back. We talked about him. You saw the 00. We talked about him last night being one of the best drivers at saving his right front tire. Right now, that seems to be the case. He is definitely continuing his march forward here. He's inside Michael Wiley. Some contact, Blaine Snyder trying to go down pit road. Dustin Buck as well here. You see these two guys coming in. It's going to be close. They get on clean. So what's the strategy? I think at this point your bet is made. You are 2 tires and just enough fuel to get you there, James.
Yeah, I'd say that's the only chance you have because you want to stay on that lead lap when they were pitting. And you know, if it stays green, these pit stop guys, they were hoping for a green white in the front. These top 5, they're hoping it stays green. I bet you they all got enough fuel.
Oh,
they
absolutely.
Might not have it for
The
the
31
burnout,
needs to be careful. These are the leaders that you are messing around with on a lap down, so he gets away. Gonna make the 23 stay on another lap. Yeah, they are down pit road. It gets a little loose there. I'm gonna be curious. Definitely gonna be curious to how this works out for the 26. If he makes up any time right now, he's going down the back straightaway in P8. So this could be a good move for him. He might not have had a chance. He might have lost the lead draft. So this could be something that works out well for him. Ricky Miles is in as well. Dave Scott is down and out. You see left side tires up on the 12 and the 48. Man, those guys, the 75 really smokes them off pit road. I would venture to say he didn't go full crazy and just take fuel only, but here comes Sean Stam. Sean Stam now, he's going to have a little older tires, but boy, does he have a huge lead on these guys going down the back straightaway, heading to 6 laps to go, James.
Oh, yeah, I think, that might have been a smart move for him tonight because now you got the 12 and 48. Yeah, they just pitted. They got a little bit fresher tire. But they've got some traffic to work around yet. Maybe they waited a lap or two too long.
I mean, you see the 26 all the way out there. He's about 4 seconds ahead of these guys. He's at the line now. I mean, it's possible. We saw it with Nick. Nick, you made this move last night. At one point, you did a later pit stop, but I mean, that is a ton of time. Yeah, I think Dave Scott went, man, I think he went fuel only on that one. He's dropping like a rock, trying to hopefully, maybe he was thinking to get a yellow flag, but Sean Stam, right now, looking like a genius out here, Nick.
I don't know, man. How long ago did he pit? I missed it.
About 3-4 laps ago.
So now, yeah, it looking like well, there it is, 8 laps on this set of tires now. So he is on 8.
Oh, yeah.
And the guys behind him, he just officially takes the lead. Now they're on about 3 laps, so about a 5-lap tire difference. And you know what? I'm not going to lie, I was not paying attention to where he was running at the time he short pitted everyone. But if my recollection serves me right,
he was dead pack.
I don't even think he was in the top 10. So this move was, I mean, just monstrous for him. Now he's got a big enough lead. I mean, he's 1.3 seconds out. These guys have the advantage of the draft, so they're probably going to eat that up quick. But if Sean takes care of his tires, can these guys equalize when they come back out? You guys were on the racetrack, or is 5 laps just too much to ask out of your tires?
5 laps is way too much, especially here. It eats tires up more than even Chicagoland does. That 12 Trevor Haley, he's going to eat that lead up.
Yes, Trevor Haley, they have it down to 0.8 of a second. I mean, you got to give Sean credit. I mean, I said it right before it all cycled out. I'd be really curious to see where he came out of the pits. I mean, everyone put that in their bag here, for later. If you were Trevor Haley and say pitted 2 laps before these guys, is Trevor Haley 2 seconds ahead of Blaine Snyder and these guys not having a battle through all this? Trevor getting to the back bumper of the 26 now. Yeah, you just see the tire difference. I mean, it is an old surface. It is abrasive on these tires. I know we set the setup also to wear a little bit, but I mean, A for effort there, Sean.
Oh, Michael just got turned. Michael just got hit
Wiley
sideways.
just got sideways.
All right, man. Caution.
And
is out.
he's around.
Oh, man.
Oh, that car is, it is crab walking. He hit a ton. Let's go back and, Sean Stamp's still third.
He's looking like a genius now. He can come down and get fresh tires. He can be right in the mix.
Absolutely. So Sean going down here in the back straightaway. Michael's going to turn down to the inside here. We got it slow-mo. Does the 00? Yep. 00 is going to drive it off in there. Tough to tell from that angle, to be honest. I know the 00 is being aggressive. Driving it off in the corner. That's going to turn him back up on the wall. This is going to be one heck of a hit here. Boom. Big shot. Wow. All 4 tires up off the ground here. Let's see if we get another look at this from a couple other cameras.
Get the front of the 00. See what he's seeing.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great call. Let's see if we can get on board here. Let's back it up with Dustin Buck. I was going to try to get the nose of these cars, but here we go. The 48 is committing into the corner. So is the 00. 48's coming down. I mean, I want to chalk it up to a hard racing deal. That's at 1 quarter speed. It's tough to make that call. The leaders are on pit road, so we'll get one last quick look at this and see what the race on pit road looks like at full speed. Yeah, you hear the throttle. The 00's out of the throttle there. I don't think he's actually trying to run him over there. Right side tires for the 12 machine.
We got trouble on pit lane.
Michael Wiley is stuck.
He can't do anything right now. Oh, he got off the curb. He was on the curb.
He was on the curb. That thing was crab walking pretty bad. Sean Stam is going to lose quite a few spots. Sean, you should have just stuck with them 2 tires there, man, and saw what it did for you, because, man, that was going to be a genius call here. Randy Showers says dumped him. He thinks the 00 just flat out ran him over on the racetrack. Well, it's hard to say, man. It really is, as the 61 of Brad Ream is going to be out front. We haven't called his name much. I did get the camera on him earlier. Let's see his last pit stop here when they crossed the line. It looks like he pitted 1 lap before Trevor on his previous pit stop. So there's definitely some green flag laps on this gentleman's tire here this evening.
I don't
think that's the way to move.
We go back to the 0048 Tangle. My point, after watching the replays, I'd have to give it a 50-50. You're coming up to the end of the race. Yeah, Michael was coming down a little bit. He was pushing hard. And that's a call all racers don't want to have to make.
Look out.
Here we go.
Here we go.
He is definitely
showing
not happy
some
about
displeasure about it. Oh, that says when you're in the broadcast booth, boys, you don't have to worry about somebody being angry at you. You just get to watch it unfold on the racetrack. I mean,
and until they see it after the race, those tempers are flaring at the end. Like I said, I would have to give it a 50-50, because did Michael know he was there, and was the 00, should he have checked up? Should he have gone down a little bit more? It's the end of the race, guys. You like we said last night, real estate is everything.
Yeah, I think it's one of those situations where, I mean, it's easy for us, especially getting a second and third look and at quarter speed. In the racetrack, you might just think, I barely went down the racetrack, and the guy's like, well, I committed to my line, and, I wasn't expecting you to come down, and, you right-reared me. But, you get that second and third look at it, you're like, well, the 48 really only comes down half a foot. The 00's off the throttle. He's only going up 3 inches. So really, out of all of it, what do you got?
You
You're
gotta
arguing for
rein
1
in
foot of
that.
space, and you met. I mean, usually I'm on Michael Wiley's side for all of his reasons of frustration. On this one, I'm with you, James. I think 50-50 is the call on that one.
That's what I would say, but we got green white checker coming. Michael's running 5th. We got Dustin 2nd or 4th. Blaine Snyder. Ooh, all the names except Brad Ream. He's the only one the 3 of us didn't have picked tonight.
Yeah, all of our picks here, Nick. What are your thoughts?
I think you need to fix your bike, honestly.
Well, Nick, what are your thoughts on what we got in the top 5 right now? I don't know what happened to Craig's mic, but let's you and I handle it right now.
Oh man, I don't know. That's 61. He is going to be a sitting duck on those old tires. Trevor's going to be all over him on the restart. And honestly, if he times it right, my front runner pick, Blaine Snyder, sitting pretty P3. He could be in the catbird seat if the 61 goes enough on the restart.
Yeah, he was
Get a
your
jump
dark
on him.
horse, right?
No, my
Or
dark
no?
horse was Kyle in the 55 car.
Okay, so yep, it looks like I might be out of it for my main pick, but that was because of the wreck. So we'll just see what happens up here.
You know, sometimes it's fun to mess with you guys. If I just walk away and you're like, oh no, it's Mike, I'll just make you guys broadcast the rest of this thing out.
hey, we handled it just fine after your mic started crackling.
Oh yeah, you guys did just great. Well, I'm in agreement with you. You know, I would say the 9's in a great spot, but does the 61 spin the tires? Is he going to have to jump out, be aggressive here? Only the next few seconds will tell. The 61 is off.
Green.
We are green, white, checker overtime from Michigan this evening. The 61 actually gets a great jump going into turns 1 and 2. Nick, you take us through turns 1 and 2.
Oh, man. Trevor Haley is going to dive to the inside of the 61, cut off Blaine Snyder off turn 2. He is going to clear the 61. And if we don't get a caution, Blaine Snyder doesn't clear. I think that's.
Oh, we
that's
got a
where
wreck on the
we're at.
backstretch. Let's see if a caution's coming out. It's near the end of the pack. Let's keep watching front, guys.
Let's see here. Dustin Buck gives a shot to Blaine Snyder, gets him going into turn 3. They're going to be door to door here off of 4. They don't throw a caution. Caution is out. We're going to re-rack him, do it again. James, you pointed it out. You can take us through what happened here with old Ricky Miles. Oh,
Ricky Miles got a little bit loose. The 4 came into him, just spun him out, and at them speeds, you know what's coming next. 4 goes up and getting ready to hit the wall, and he takes out, what's that, 55?
That's 21, Ryan
the
Wilson.
21, Ryan Hilton, and
Cato involved as well.
Yep.
Yeah, and man, I don't know if you guys noticed here, I'm gonna see if I can cue this up. You're gonna have to pardon the rookie guy here. Let me see if I can get the right camera here. We are on the rear bumper of the 48 here, coming out of turn 2.
Through it.
I think Michael, the iRacing gods, may have paid him back here, because this was close. I don't know if you guys caught it there up on the wall. You see the 3 guys behind him all got involved and watched this thing come back up the racetrack. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
I don't know if it gets much closer, much luckier for the 48 machine, and more unfortunate for the 21. Again, having a great race. I'm still frustrated. He has gotten stuck mired back here in the pack. It is not where the 21 car deserves to be this evening. But yeah, wow, that was a move. Oh, look at down here. Blaine Snyder, gentlemen. Gotta go through 4 tires on this thing. Oh, the Ryan Wilson's, again, you saw it earlier with Michael Wiley. He's stuck on the curb. Yeah, that thing is just broke. Gets up there on that curb. It's going to be difficult to get up off of that. The 26, likewise, down pit road. You know what I'm thinking off of the call there from the 26 and the 9 car there? I think they just put enough fuel in for maybe a green-white checker trying to win the race off pit road. Hard to think that they would make that mistake. Knowing that you've re-racked the field for overtime, but possible. We're gonna have to wait and see and ask. Well, I forget. Was Trevor my favorite pick? I believe it was. Right? I picked the 12.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, you took the 12.
Nobody had the 00, but somebody had it as a dark horse. Pfeiffer here. Who had him?
Yeah, I had the 07. I was looking at the 00 earlier, but I didn't pick him because I was like I said, I was taking the easier choice back in the day. So I'm wrong on one. Maybe I'm going to be wrong on two again tonight.
Well, there's another guy hanging here that has hung around all evening long. He's unfortunately gone to the back to the front a couple times. One of the guys I said he's not one of my picks, but if I had more picks, Brandon Showers would be one of them. He's up there. Dave Scott still hanging right here as well. And you know what? We're re-racking him and doing it again as Bauman said. 55 P8 after everything he's been through tonight, still in the top 10. Nick.
And
Yeah, I told y'all. He's like a cockroach. You can't get rid of him these last couple nights.
And you know, if we have one more checker, that 48's going to be, he's going to probably be up there. He's back in row 6 now. So he's going to only be 6 back on the restart in row wise. So
yeah, if
he's
these
going to
guys,
be wheeling, he's going to be wheeling that car too. So
yeah, if these guys go and get re-rack them up again and get all wadded up, 48 could be flying right back in it, and I have a feeling he probably went and got 4 tires again, maybe this time around. Randy Showers is saying the 12 needs a black flag. He's leaking fluid, which caused Ricky to wreck that last time around, gentlemen.
One more thing
we
to
hear
watch.
that on the mics all the time, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. One more thing to watch. Michael might be on 4 tires. He's also driving angry. He's not happy with the 00. And if you take a look at who's in front of him on this restart.
Oh, yes.
Car.
The storyline continues. The 24's right there. The 48's already. Maddie wants to go up there and get the 00. We're re-racking them. We are green flagging overtime once again from Michigan. The 00 going to try to slide down in front of the 07. He does. Let's get it up here on the blimp camera, try to capture as much as that. The 75 going to put a huge block on the 24. Now where does the 48 go? Does he follow the 75 through? Looks like he will. The 75 really putting the pressure on him. Kyle Cameron, the 55, a great run. Get up there to the top, boy. Good job. Clear him. The 00 now making a run to the lead. The 07 shoving the 12. A lot of zeros up there. Oh, wow, the 00 losing a ton of momentum with no draft help, and you said it there. He's driving angry, might have 4 fresh tires. Michael Wiley is not out of this thing.
All right, man.
Barring,
we got a yellow.
Oh, no, we're going to re-rack him again, and now look at the field. Oh, man, the 48 is there, the 55. It looks like Ricky Miles has gone around once again, right around Jerry Fassett on the back straightaway, and Blaine Snyder here. Gentlemen, let's try to get a better camera angle of this, because sometimes these cameras are great, sometimes they are the worst.
Well, you know, as we watch this replay a little bit, we're on the final green-white checker here, guys. So whatever happens now happens.
Yeah, here, I couldn't tell if the 5s went down the racetrack or if the 31 came up and tagged him. Let's see if we can get a better look at this thing. Let's find Blaine Snyder. We know he had a pretty good look at this thing coming through off of turn 2 here, going down the back straightaway. Let's just go full speed and watch how fast this all happens. Well, it's not going to give a great view of it, is it?
He must have passed it when
yeah, inside wall, big hit for Ricky. Unfortunately, we don't have a great camera angle of that one here this evening. But, well, gentlemen, the 12, the 07, the 00, the 23, the 48, the 75, and the 55, all right there up in it, guys. So I would say we need to maybe go to the casino later, because I think maybe we know what we're talking about.
Man, I wish.
any driver, any race.
Absolutely. I mean, there's definitely your front runners, but then you have guys like Ryan Wilson get up there, and you're like, wow, turn your head there. You know, Kyle Cameron the other night at ISS. Tommy Rogers, another guy. He stole, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe 2 at Chicagoland just in the recent past. I mean, James, you came up there 3 wide, split in the middle at Daytona, and made a last lap pass here not too long ago. You know,
Yeah, that
there's
was, I
obvious.
think, between you and Trevor, wasn't it?
Yes, yes. And then
Yeah.
Trevor turned our sponsor. Not a great move there. And maybe that's why he spelled Trevor's name wrong on his car, because he didn't forget.
Yeah,
um,
actually, that was my first win with the group too on the super speedway.
yeah, you made a great move through the middle. I got to update some of my highlights and all that stuff going down here. But now, gentlemen, we are on our final green-white checker. Let's get a listen on board here with the 12. Could we be in fuel conservation mode still? Yes, we are. The clutch is pushed in. He's still rolling that thing. You know, you don't want to put too much fuel on board, Nick. Otherwise, you know, it is a simulation. More fuel, more weight.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely want to make sure you have at least enough for all 3 green light checkers.
Well, the lights are now up on the pace car. So you have the 12, the 07, the 00, the 23, the 5, or excuse me, the 48 on the inside row 5, and Dave Scott, Kyle Cameron, your top 7. Then Maurice here, he's had himself a quietly good race. I do like the paint job on that machine. That thing is slick. Matt Brown right there, Sean Stam. I really thought, man, if
All right,
if
man. Lights are back on the pace car.
lights
We're
are
not going
back
green this
on the
time.
pace
We
car,
are
so
not going green.
somebody did not make it back to the pack here. So now, James, do your worries about fuel intensify here?
For my pick, no, because he did go in. But no, I don't think any of them. I think they all planned on, you know, having 3 green white checkers, and you can save a half a lap on these if you do it right.
Oh, absolutely. Well, once again, everyone, appreciate Nick and James once again up here in the booth. If you could do one of the 4, the subscribe button is one of the best out of all of them. Really appreciate everyone who has subscribed to the channel on our way to you know, really growing this thing. You know, we swapped up there, James and Nick, from YouTube. We almost got up to 70 on that in the short stint that we were on YouTube. Decided to take it over here to Twitch. Give it a try. You're going to try to follow this growing as well. So all the follows, the subscriptions, the likes, and the views are all very much appreciated here. I know you guys being in the race cars, like, how often did you go back and watch that win that you had, James?
Oh, I actually brought it to work and showed a few of the guys that thought I was nuts doing sim racing. Now I got a guy thinking
All right,
about.
man.
I got
Lights are back on the pace car.
I
We're
got
not
some
going
backup
green this time. We
equipment,
are not
computer
going green.
equipment, and he's actually talking about maybe putting something together himself because he's actually looked at a couple of our YouTube races and stuff. And now I'm not so crazy.
Well, I know Nick loves this thing here. You know, I've gotten some sick photos, even just off the regular camera here on the racetrack. He's got it as some of his screensavers and phone backgrounds. So, yeah, if you're sitting here watching and debating on getting iRacing, it was one of the best investments I made. I have a ton of fun out here. I'm having a ton
Oh,
of fun
exactly.
in the broadcast booth. But if you are a racer, whether it is NASCAR, whether it's F1, open wheel, dirt, Rallycross, they have that in here. Definitely, I mean,
Yeah. And one more quick shout out. I want to give a shout out because we're talking about iRacing and all that. And my wife actually knows how much I enjoy this. And I don't know how much I thank her for her allowing me, because we know happy wife, happy life. But she gives me all the freedom to do this too, for the most part. So
well, yeah,
maybe
absolutely.
she'll watch this one day and see it. Now I got proof I did it in TV land.
Absolutely. Um, we got some guys already going off in general chat. Uh, pretty funny.
I bet.
Oh, it's pretty good. We have, how does half the field get wrecked at the start of with no caution, but on the second green white check car spins out? Well, I have to have Juan's back on this one. If you listen to the instructions at the beginning of the race. It is all explained, and especially towards the end of it, you have stuck around through 55 minutes of practice. You have stuck around through 10 minutes of qualifying, 2 minutes of grid, and 95 laps. If you have stuck around through it all, through all the chaos of all the people who don't know any better, even if it's a one-car spin, unless that driver comes off the radio and says, hey, it was my mistake, do not throw the caution flag for me, they have stuck around for, I mean, going on, the lobby opened at 9:05, so, you know, almost 3 hours. We're going to make sure every guy has a chance to at least race this thing out. You know, even if that's not for the win, to give them the better advantage. I mean, you're asking a lot of people, like you just said, you know, you're thanking your wife. You know, these guys are investing a ton of time besides this race, you know, with their wheels, their money, and their time. The time is the most valuable thing. So if somebody's going to stick around for 3 hours to see the end of the race, you know, we want to give them that chance to see that all the way through. So that is why you're going to get the yellows here on the green-white checkers.
And the guys that stick around, 19 left out of 43. They followed our procedures. They're enjoying the end of a race. Here we go. Green flag.
Here we are. We got some guys trying to anticipate the 24 is going to get turned by the 71, trying to jump the start there. There's no more green-white checkers to give, so that's the end of the race, unfortunately, for them. Some of the guys just anticipating to start, trying to get it moving on the racetrack, but unfortunately slam into the back of each other. That is not the way you want your race to head. As we just said, you spent 3 hours here. That is no good here, as Michael Wiley and Trevor Haley and company march their way down the back straightaway here. The 07 now putting a ton of pressure on the rear bumper. The 55, look at the move. He just is sailing it down in there.
He's going to be clear here off the
ball. And there you go. Kyle Cameron with a bold move. You do not see Michael Wiley get caught off guard ever. So Kyle Cameron, what an awesome move. We are on the final lap of 23. He's going to go and come up and get them. Oh, that big hit for them. Oh, man, terrible ending there. The 07 has got by the 12 car. Now Kyle Cameron size them all up and dive it to the bottom. Go to the bottom, Kyle. Don't push him. Oh, Kyle, no. All right, well, they're still side by side. Kyle still has a chance, maybe off a turn forward to make his move. He's now looking to the middle. He's split in the middle of the 12. He's crossing him over. Kyle Cameron going to the bottom 3 wide. Get up there and side draft to Kyle. Come on, Kyle, get in as they come to the start finish line. It looks like it's going to be the double 07 of Hunter Pfeiffer, Kyle Cameron, and Trevor Haley at the end of this thing. Wow.
What a race. What a finish.
Oh, man. Have you ever? No, just kidding.
No, I have never.
Well, Hunter Pfeiffer, I don't think led many laps, if any, tonight, except for the most important one, boys. Let's go ahead and rewind this here.
While you're rewinding, we're going to have to let Nick interview Trevor there, because Hunter, he's not a regular.
Yes.
And I guess, Nick, you can give Trevor a little bit, because he let a newer race driver take him out in turn 4.
Well, let's get a quick look at this one here. The 23 pushing the 07 down the front straightaway. The 00 is just, I can't tell if the 23 is coming down the racetrack. I think the 23 is trying to follow the 07's move to the inside. Maybe just doesn't realize they haven't cleared him yet. Unfortunately, well, two souls meet again, the 48 and the 00. The 48 and the 44 are going to take a huge shot to the outside wall. Again, 44 had a great race all race long here.
And just for the fans out there, when I said that, Nick and Trevor are good teammates, but Nick likes rubbing Trevor a little bit, so we thought we'd help you guys with the rivalry.
Oh, it goes both ways.
Oh, I have. Oh, Kyle's wife is in the chat, and guess what, gentlemen? Kyle was running out of fuel coming to the line. That is why he didn't grab the win. Oh, man, I thought he had it. Let's get a look on board. He's sizing him up. Maybe this was the best move for Kyle, trying to push the 07 by.
RPM.
Here he goes.
Keep that view.
Great shot here. He's going to cross over the 12. That was a hell of a move right there for him. And then he's coming down. Right at the line, it sputters on him, and I think that is all it took for him not to take the win here. Let's try to see if we can find us a better camera of the finish here. Oh,
right
man.
there, I bet.
We need to find. Come on. There's out of all these cameras. Yes. Okay. Here we go. So it looked like. Oh yeah. He had. Oh man. He was out in front. He had the lead in the Geico restart zone. He was just beyond that as sputtered. You see him. He has a nose advantage. Sputters right there. Gonna give the 07 the juice to go and grab the win. Oh man. Wow.
But he did take second.
Wow, and it looks like is that our winner down there in the chat? First time Hunter Pipes down there. I think that is our winner. Congratulations. I don't know. We'll check to see if you are in the general chat this evening. I don't see you, but wow, what a great race. You have a bunch of the regular guys up in here in the admin team, and you heard it from them themselves. They're super impressed with your run this evening. Well, here is the finish. I mean, 3 wide after what are we? We were 95 laps and 3 green-white checkers. So what's that? 108 laps, something like that.
108 laps.
108 lap race.
108 laps. We have guys in the Discord chat announcing their airplane departures out here. That is my first one. Yeah, okay. It's not an airport. You don't have to give your, announce your departure. But man, there you go. I mean, what a great race. Kyle Cameron.
Wasn't that your dark horse,
close.
Nick?
Oh
What's
yeah,
that?
Nick, we might have another dark horse driver in the 07 up there. I don't know. I might have to try to recruit him pretty quick.
Well, let's bring number 2, second place Kyle up, and we'll give him to Nick to talk to. How's that sound?
That sounds wonderful. Can't wait to hear the elation and yet the frustration from Kyle Cameron. You had it, and it sputters at the worst time possible.
I'm doing good. Yeah, I was holding my breath, hoping we weren't getting another delayed because I would have had to go in.
Oh man, well you made all right. So we were all questioning your move down the back straightaway of sticking with the 07. You proved that we didn't know what we were talking about. We thought you were gonna dive underneath them. What made you stick with the 07 going down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4? Did you know the 12 was gonna wash up and just try to turn underneath them, or was it just we'll see what happens?
Well, all night, my line that I was the fastest at was going in high and coming out low and hammering it down the straight. So I was sticking with that, and luckily, yeah, Trevor just floated up a little bit, and I seen the inside, so I took it with the momentum I had, and I don't think it was enough momentum to get past both of them and take the win, but I mean, hey, it was a 3-wide finish.
Well, we did go back and look. I know Nick wants to have a word with you, but we did go back and look. You had the lead right until it sputtered. I don't know if you would have still had the momentum, but your nose was out front. I don't want to rub the pain in anymore, but you did have the edge over the 07 until it sputtered.
Man, that sucks to hear. But yeah, I was watching my right monitor and I could barely see his nose. So, man, gotta love it. It was a damn good race there at the end.
I tell you, man, you put on a hell of a show. You almost made me look like a genius. I had you as my dark horse pick.
Yes, he did.
To win it. And to be fair, you did beat all of our favorites and our James and Craig here's dark horse. So you made me look right for one night.
No. I had the winner.
Yes,
oh, that's right, you
James,
did.
James
So
did
what's
pick
your
the
dark
winner.
horse?
Winner tonight. But that was, I won't say that was really a dark horse pick. That was just a safe pick. So I'll give it to you, Ty. I'll give it to you, Nick.
Well, you made me look more right than Craig. So at least you did that.
You were more right than me for truthfulness.
Well,
there today.
you won one at ISS last night. You said it was your first time on a non-super speedway in these cars. P4, was that correct for last night?
Yes.
P4, first time at Chicagoland, and you come out here to Michigan and take P2. I mean, one would say you're a quick learner.
I think so. I think I'm catching on real quick. The early race, is definitely a learning curve, but I think I get it figured out pretty quick and kind of dangerous there at the end. Hopefully, everybody else sees me as that.
Oh, believe me, my notepad has got a couple more pages of the 55's moves written down on it to get a reference before the end of these races. Well, congratulations, awesome P2 finish here. Hunter says he joined the Discord. Well, Hunter, if If you found one, if you go into general chat, we should be able to find you and interview you. Just pop in there. We'll keep an eye out for you. But Kyle, great job. Great P2. Very entertaining finish there, buddy.
Appreciate it, Craig. Y'all are doing a great job up there. Keep it up. Thanks,
man. Kyle Cameron continuing to impress that Angry Wives Racing team continues to impress, guys. I got to say they're going to be one of the favorites moving forward every week. But let's bring in the P3 finisher here this evening. Trevor Haley, it is James, Nick, and Craig up in the booth again, buddy. P3 tonight, what did you think of that finish?
I wish we didn't have the white checkers.
Yeah, you had that in the bag, but I mean, we saw the 07 make the move to the outside of you. Were you expecting the 55 like we were to jump to the inside and just sail it off in the corner?
I was hoping. I was wishing he didn't push Hunter around me, but it is what it is.
Well, still a great finish there. Another top 5. We're going to have to go back, Nick, here and check on top 5 streaks because I don't think Trevor has been outside the top 5 in quite a while.
It's been a hot minute.
Well, James, do you have anything for the P3 finisher tonight?
I just want to say it was a good race. I'd want to say congratulations to you, but, I don't know how you take it from me. So good racing tonight.
Thank you.
Well, Trevor was my pick here this evening for the win. And then the two guys sitting up here in the booth with me, better me this evening and making me look like I don't know what I'm talking about. But Trevor Haley, great finish for you.
Thank you.
Well, pay for this evening, Dave Scott. Dave Scott quietly hanging around the top 5, the top 3 all night with a little bit of chaos there at the end. Continues the good race for you. P4 this evening, buddy.
Thank you. Been struggling to try to get these top 5s. I don't know. It's like a monkey on my back.
Well, it usually only takes one time to knock the monkey off. Could this be the turn that you need at the end of this race to propel yourself into a couple more successful races here?
I think so. It's the February 1st. Crappy January's over, so I'm looking forward to the rest of the year.
Well, James, Nick, do you have anything for the P4 finisher this evening?
I want to congratulate you on a 4th place finish tonight, Dave. You broke that monkey, and hopefully we'll be able to call you on the top 5 more often and get to your wins.
I'm open, so thanks, James.
Dave Scott P4 this evening for Dave. I'm just trying to find the right chat to put him in down there. And the last guy to round out the top 5, Mr. Blaine Snyder, putting it in the top 5 once again. Your 5th place finisher this evening. What did you see there on the last lap? Because it looked like
you moved yourself.
Oh boy, I'm over here.
So
there we go.
Here he goes. So congratulations again.
Kyle had to fix me. I moved myself. I was trying to move Dave, and I moved me. Well, Blaine, another top 5 for you. What did you see there on the last lap as the chaos unfolded?
Smoke, car hit wall, me turn away. It was very very hectic there at the end.
It definitely was, but you still come home top 5. Now, Nick, I'm gonna let you say what you said up in the broadcast about that paint job. You're gonna have to have the man correct the thing.
I heard you. Don't even say it. I heard him. Don't. Don't. I know.
It's all right. Nick will teach you, but congratulations again on the top 5, buddy.
Thanks, man. I had fun.
I do got one question for Blaine. When that first green white checker came out, I thought you had a shot to win. You were my front runner pick to win. What was the thought process behind coming down and getting 4 tires for those green white checkers?
Well, actually, it was a very easy decision for me. I looked at my black box and I realized I ain't got no gas. So,
Oh
Oh
man.
no.
yeah, I
I said
forgot
it.
to.
I said it was a possibility, but I tried to say that you were better than that, and you wouldn't have missed on that. But nah,
Well, I
I'm wrong
normally
all over
set
it tonight, guys. I gotten everything wrong this evening.
I set my auto fuel normally on +3 at the beginning of the race. I just forgot to do it tonight. So
Oh man.
Well, I guess in hindsight, it all works out for you. A top 5 finish for you.
yes, sir.
Well, that about wraps it up here. Let's just go down the running order. Hunter Pfeiffer getting it done here on the 3 wide finish. Kyle Cameron, P2, Trevor Haley, Dave Scott, Blaine Snyder, Dustin Buck comes home that 61 guys. That 2-tire stop he chose to do earlier, it's going to hang him in the top 10. 7th place for him. Zach Cato quietly sneaks back to the 8th position. There, we saw him with some unfortunate luck. John Miles, likewise, a top 10. Stephen Connor. Cody Fassett in the 91, man, he climbed a ton on the racetrack this evening. They started, where were they? Almost in the 50s there. So Cody was up 39 spots from his starting spot. John Miles was up 32. Dave Scott was up 16. Brad Ream finished 24 up. I mean, a lot of movement. Ricky Miles is going to come home P12. Brandon Showers falls to 13th, but even he was up 24 spots. Matt Brown 14th. Michael Wiley 15th. Maurice in the 44, we saw him get caught up in that wreck, as well as Jerry Fassett rolled into that wreck there on the last lap. So we'll get your guys' final thoughts at the end of this one. James, you go first.
Great race, great tires, great drivers tonight. We saw some good passing, and we saw a new winner tonight. That even makes the race even better. More winners in our group, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. Adds a little bit into it. Well, Nick, what are your thoughts on everything you saw? A new vantage point for you this evening.
Yeah, definitely something more different than I'm used to. Second half, at least from what I got to watch, instead of what I got to race, was a whole lot better. Great racing, great finish, and if you look at our general chat, our winner has arrived.
I see there he is. So before we sign off, let's bring him in. All right, Hunter, before we give you your congratulations and all your thoughts, how do we say the last name? Make sure we get this right.
It's Piper.
It's
I was right.
Oh,
We
man,
got it
see?
wrong.
Man, you know what? I'm just gonna hang up the hat and broadcasting because I got my picks wrong. I got my dark horse wrong. I saying your name wrong. I was like, Piper seems too easy. Is it Piper? Well, Hunter Piper, new driver to the series this evening, but you get it done, beating one of the best drivers we have in here, and Trevor Haley. What did it take? What did you see unfold from the green flag of the green white checker until you crossed the start finish line, buddy?
I mean, the whole race, I was getting freight trained on the outside. Like if you'd make a move inside and they were lined up outside, they would just blow by you, and you'd lose 5 or 10 spots every time. Um, so I just wanted to stay on the outside, and luckily, I'm not sure who was behind me there. I think it was the 55 on that last lap that gave me a little bump on that outside.
Yeah, he did give you a good bump, Hunter, and congratulations. This is James up in the booth, Jepson. But we want to let you know, the 55 was ahead of you, and he sputtered and gave you the win.
Yeah,
He ran out of fuel.
I'm really happy I topped up all the way on that
I
on that
bet,
last that
yeah.
last stop.
Yes, we saw Kyle's wife was in the chat and he said he was putting across across the line, and we had to go back and take a look, and he had a nose advantage. I don't know, you had the momentum on the high side if it would have played out the same way, but either way, you hung around all night up in the top 5. Well, now that you're in the Discord, you found the Discord. The links are in the Twitch to the Facebook and all the other social media. You'll see yourself posted, as well as all the top 5 stage winners and everything on there. You'll get a huge shout out on the social medias. We do this every night. The lobby opens at 9. Race starts at 10. Now that you're in the Discord, we do have password protected races to kind of keep the front half of the race what played out the beginning. Sometimes we open it up for everyone, but usually the main events on Friday are password protected. So hopefully we get to see you back out on the racetrack. Congratulations. Nick, do you have anything for our first time racer and then the winner tonight?
Just great job tonight, man. Drove a heck of a race. Put yourself in prime position to get the win at the end. And put another Dale Jr. paint scheme.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I knew that comment was coming. Is it just a paint scheme, or do we have another Dale Jr. fan up in here with us?
I mean, I'm a Junior fan for sure. I'm gonna be honest. I switch my paint up probably once a week, depending on what car I'm running. But I might have to keep it on if it's good luck.
Well,
Yes.
Hunter, you are a winner at S&M Racing. I'd like to say we expect you to come back more often, but instead I'll say I hope we see you more. I hope you keep the 07, and I hope we see you running up front and giving these guys more competition.
Oh, for sure. Thanks, guys. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. Hunter, congratulations on the win again, buddy.
Thank you.
Ah, man, awesome that he got in here just in time before we wrapped up. Well, guys, we see a 3-wide finish, a photo finish here at the end. We saw some beating and banging. We saw a lot of chaos at the front of this thing, which to be expected with a large field. But, Nick, as you stated on at the end of the race, this is just the way. This is the reason we do stage racing, the reason we turn the laps up. Tonight, I was a little conservative with it. Only 90 laps. We wrapped up before midnight here this evening. Usually it's a little bit longer, but wasn't sure how long this was going to play out for, but a 3-wide finish, a lap last crash, some guys bettering their positions out there on the racetrack, some beating, some banging, some drama, and then by the end of it, a 3-wide photo finish. Now that we've officially gotten the whole top 5, final thoughts, new setup, same track we've gone to before, but brand new setup, the 3-wide. Nick, what was your thoughts wrapping this whole thing up?
Pretty good race, man. Set up, the car drove pretty good. It had decent tire wear, but it wasn't, too much to where the field got too strung out. Got a fantastic finish. Not really much more to put into that.
Well, James, what are your final thoughts here tonight?
My final thoughts was just once we got rid of the chaos in the early part of the race, it was a great race at the end, and there was no doubt we had some excitement tonight.
Absolutely. Well, my final thoughts are going to be I was pretty proud of the way that the setup in general raced this evening. Seemed like 4 tires was on the menu. The drafting wasn't nearly as bad as it had been in the past. That was one of the goals of mine. Obviously, you can never really fix that in the Gen 6 cars. Everyone asks why we don't go password protected all the time and we just shut it down. Well, then I know we have the first bit of chaos, but then you miss out on the Hunter Pipers that might come in and prove themselves to be a very formidable and respectful driver and continue to grow this series. So I know some guys get frustrated, they get caught up, they quit early. This is ridiculous. I'm only going to come when it's a password protected race. But if we did that all the time, we would miss out on some of the guys coming in and trying to prove themselves on the racetrack. Well, gentlemen, Nick, you are being called out in the chat. They want to do 50 laps from Talladega. They want to take you one-on-one out there. So I know it's late. Could we see another S&M race in the lobbies tonight? Maybe a quick one at Talladega? Maybe even a 30-lapper?
And I don't know. I kind of want to catch up on some sleep. Didn't get a whole lot last night.
Well, you and I are going to have to do that, Craig.
There you go. Well, they're not going to be happy that Mr. Talladega's not in that one if he goes to bed. I don't know. We only stayed up to what?
6 a.m.
Yeah, it's not even that late. We played Uno on Twitch all night.
This old fart had to go to bed while you guys were still doing that last night. But thanks all for listening tonight. My name's James Jepson. I'm the sidekick to Craig, and I'll hand it over to you, Craig.
All right. Well, thank you, James, for joining us in the booth. Thank you, Nick Bauman, for also coming up in the booth with us here this evening. That is going to wrap it up for S&M, broadcast-wise, at least this evening. You never know what we might get into after this. Maybe some more intense Uno. You never know if you're on the Twitch. If you want to keep track of that, maybe a little bit more Madden action going around. You never know what we're gonna do throughout the night. But thank you everyone for checking out the CSR broadcast channel here on Twitch. We will also be uploading this to YouTube later on this evening. Thank you guys so much for the likes, for all the comments, the shares, and especially the subs in out here. It really does help this page get seen by more people. Even our drivers for subscribing to the channel. It really does help this page continue to grow, the series continue to grow, and find more guys like Hunter Piper who get it done this evening from Michigan. Thank you guys so much. We will see you soon.